So hi guys, welcome back to LD Gaming. So in today's video, we will be comparing the performance of a traditional hard drive, which is like this one, a Western Digital Black 1 TB variant, and an SSHD like the Samsung Fire CUDA 2 TB, which I have installed on my new PC, and an NVMe SSD like the ADATA XPG M.2 NVMe SSD. So, without further ado, let's start.
LD Gaming.
So the first thing that we need to do is to test the booting up sequence, the loading time, and stuff like that. So let's start with the boot up sequence first. So this one, the one installed right now, is the Seagate Fire CUDA SSHD or solid state hybrid drive. I'll make a graph just to make it short and simple. By the way, I almost forgot, we need to open this package first before doing stuff, because you need to open the box first, unbox it and stuff like that. So we'll open this. So as you might see, this is a 512 gig or a 500 gig variant of the ADATA XPG NVMe SSD. It's the SX6000 PRO. So it's a PCIe Gen 3 by 4 lanes SSD. So it's fast, but not as fast as the Samsung 970 Pro, but it's the same speeds as the Samsung 970 Evo. For those who haven't known, this is just 9 grams. So there we go, and there. Basically, that's it. No, is there anything here? Nothing. Just this one, the M.2, and there, the cover, XPG by ADATA. So as you guys can see, it's pretty small. It's the size of my palm. So let's test now the loading times of the SSHD. Then for some reason, to those who are still using the traditional hard drive, is this, yeah, the 7200 RPM hard drive. Let's test it out. For those who are still using the 5400, the older hard drive, I don't have one. I don't have access to those, but it will be quite close to the performance of the WD Black. So let's test the 3 out for the meantime. Actually, for some reason, based from experience, it is not recommended to boot up from the Seagate Fire CUDA since it's a it uses up most of its performance on the Windows operating system and less on the apps and games. So basically, when you use it as your boot drive, it slows down everything. So it's it's not really a problem, but it's a sort of a problem at the same time, because first, it slows down your PC drastically. The user experience is very slow. It's very not that responsive. And next is that how do I say this? Some games like Battlefield 5 requires very much most of your loading performance from your storage devices, and it sometimes crashes when you use the Seagate Fire CUDA at the same time as a boot drive, also as a gaming drive. So what we need to do is to use separately the Fire CUDA as a gaming drive while having another, for example, a traditional hard drive like this one, the Western Digital, and use it as your boot drive. In that case, the Seagate Fire CUDA will perform very well. So the first thing that you need to do is to download your disk migration utility or your cloning software for you to be able to use not have a hard time in transferring your files one storage device to another. So for example, for my case, and since I'm using the ADATA XPG M.2 NVMe SSD, I'm gonna use their software, which is this one. So I went to xpg.com and searched for their software. So for example, here I went to their products, then choose XPG SX6000 blah blah blah, then choose download. And download, and all of their software is here. So for our migration utility or cloning software, we'll be using the Acronis True Image HD, which is free since it came from XPG. So if you are using another product or another device, for example, the Western Digital, go to your specific Western Digital website, then download your migration software there. Most likely it will be free since it's a support product or support software for your device. So there. So just download it. So for me, I'm downloading it right now. The Acronis True Image HD disk migration utility. It's quite a mouthful, but it's really helpful for your transferring instead of reinstalling everything. So just need to wait to finish this, then install everything. So now that we have successfully installed the software, it's usually, the software is called Acronis True Image HD 2015 for Windows 10 and 2013 for Windows 8, Windows 8.1, and Windows 7. So what we need to do now is to disassemble the PC. First and foremost, we need to remove the graphics card, the side panel, the graphics card, and the M.2 heat shield for the M.2 installation. So what we need is a multi-bit screwdriver, or if you don't have one, it's a Phillips head screwdriver and a coin. What you need a coin. What's the coin for? It's to turn your tempered glass screw if you have a tempered glass in your system. So that's it. So I'll just time lapse this to keep this short and simple. So yeah. So as you can see here, we are in the process of cloning already, as we have finished every process. I don't know if you could see it or not. So there, you could see it properly now because the camera focused right away of some sort. So there we go. As you can see, it's around 28 minutes. Normally, the cloning process actually depending on your first your destination drive. If it's a SSD or an NVMe SSD, it will be faster. Or next, if your destination or source drive is slow like a traditional hard drive, then it will really be slow. So like it will take like an hour if it's a traditional hard drive, or if it's a SSD or NVMe SSD, it will take around 30 minutes. So the time difference really depends on your the drive that you will be transferring it to. So for me, in my case, it's since I'm using an NVMe SSD, it will take around 30 minutes. So there, as you can see, it says 27 minutes remaining since the copying of the partition. There are a total of 6 partitions since this is a boot drive that I am cloning. So there are 6 partitions. The first 4 will be fast since those are primary reserve partitions for your system. Those are OEM, so you can do anything about them. Those are small partitions, so those will be fast. Then followed by your local disk or local volume, where the OS lies, your desktop lies, your every file lies. That will be the biggest part of your time. It will consume most of your time since it is the biggest one. Then followed by a reserve partition, which is relatively small also. Then that's it. So technically it will take around 30 to 40 minutes transfer time. So there you go. After that, just go to your BIOS. Just go to your BIOS, then change your boot process to your NVMe or to your newly transferred SSD. Then that's it. Then you could then if it works, it should work basically, because it's just a cloning process. Then you should just reformat your old drive, then use it as a game drive. For example, in my case, I will use my SSHD, my 2 TB SSHD as a game driver, and I will store all of my games there and have faster load time, since it is faster than a traditional hard drive. So that's it. So now that we are done in everything, we have successfully cloned our drives. I hope you find this guide very useful, and if you like this video, please give it a like, and please subscribe to LD Gaming for more informative videos like this one, which would definitely help you in your computer life, I guess. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.